This is a story about the Israelites and the Passover, and special lambs and bread made without yeast. God spoke to Moses and Aaron while the Israelites were in Egypt. This is going to become the first month of your year. On the 10th day of this month, you're all going to do something seriously special. The whole community of the Israelites is to take part. Everyone. Every man must take a lamb, one for each household. Actually, if your household is small, share with your neighbours. Be sensible, but the lamb will need to feed everyone. Everyone must share in this, as it will be very special. Make sure the lambs are special too. Take year-old males, either sheep or goats, whatever you have. Look after those special lambs well for 3 days. Then, on the 14th, gather everyone at twilight and slaughter the lambs. Take some of the blood from the slaughter and daub it on the doorposts of each house where you live. Take the meat of the lambs, roast it over the fire that same night. Cook it with bitter herbs over a fire. Eat it with bread made without yeast. When you eat it, wear your coat and your shoes. Have your staff, your walking stick in one hand, ready. Be ready to move on at any moment. This isn't a leisurely meal. Eat quickly. The whole meal is a rush. It is the Lord's Passover. It should happen quickly. Now, on the night of the Passover, I, the Lord, will pass through Egypt. It will be terrible, because I will strike down every firstborn. Every person, every animal, every firstborn will die. This is my judgment on the people of Egypt. I can do this because I am the Lord. Now, when I destroy the Egyptians, I don't want to destroy my special people. So I will look for the blood on the doorposts of the Israelite homes and pass over those houses. They will be unharmed. This will then become a day to commemorate. For generations you will remember it and celebrate it as a festival to me, the Lord. As part of the festival, you will make bread without yeast and eat it for 7 days. On the 1st and the 7th day, you will hold a sacred meeting. Don't do any work on either of those special days, apart from preparing food. You will celebrate this festival in the coming years, because you will look back on what is about to happen. Once Moses and Aaron had heard all of this from God, Moses summoned all of the elders of Israel and told them that God had spoken to him. He explained what the people needed to do. The people then bowed down and worshipped God. Then they all went to prepare themselves. Later, when they gathered, they slaughtered and cooked the lambs and daubed the blood on the doorposts, and wore their coats and their shoes and held their walking sticks as they all ate the meat roasted over the fire, accompanied by bread without yeast. At midnight the Lord came and struck down all of the firstborn in Egypt, from the very top, from Pharaoh's firstborn to the prisoner in the dungeon, and all of the livestock too. Every firstborn died. It was a terrible time. The Egyptians got up in the night when they realized what was happening. Even Pharaoh and all of his officials. They woke and they wailed because of the firstborn being killed. Not a single Egyptian house was spared. Every house had someone dead. Pharaoh was distressed and angry. He summoned Moses and Aaron in the middle of the night and said, "Okay, go, right now. Get up, leave. You and all of the Israelites, go. Worship your God as you have asked to do. Go, take your flocks, take your herds. Just get out of here. I can't take any more. And please, before you go, just bless me." All of the Egyptian people were terrified because of the slaughter of the firstborn. It was the end of a series of horrible plagues of flies and gnats and locusts and boils and hail and others that had been brought on the Egyptians by God to destroy their crops and disrupt their lives, because the Pharaoh would not let the Israelites go. But now they all urged the Israelites to leave, to go in a hurry, before anything worse could happen. So the Israelites finally left Egypt, taking their dough without yeast, carrying it with them because they did not have time to prepare anything before they left. The Israelites also did as Moses had told them, and asked the Egyptians to give them presents, things of value to take with them on their journey. The Lord made the Egyptians friendly towards the Israelites and generous as they left, and they gave gifts of gold and silver and fine clothing. Anything the Israelites asked for, the Egyptians gave them, just to get rid of them. The Israelites took with them all the things of value from Egypt, just as if they had raided them in battle. The Israelites continued on their journey. There were about 600,000 men, plus all the women and children. They travelled from Ramesses to Sukkoth, all walking, away from Egypt towards the land promised to them. They took their livestock in herds and flocks, and their dough without yeast. This was the beginning of the Exodus. It began at Passover, when the Israelite people had lived in Egypt for exactly 430 years. The Israelite people still celebrate and keep vigil for Passover and the Feast of the Unleavened Bread, remembering that special night, as they have for generations.